Okay, so I'm doing some specialty scraping because I'm doing some scraping in some special places. These are the drawers from the Heywood Wakefield, and this is the Viper. Um, I didn't love it at first. I put some hockey tape on it because a guy on YouTube named Rob Cosman's a Canadian, I think. Huge fan of hockey tape, and it does help to build up the grip. I might actually think I need to knurl it more so I can give a better grip. Otherwise, the original Viper housing is pretty slick, so I was getting kind of my hand was cramping here trying to hang on to it. The cool thing about it is it has, well, two things. It has a carbide blade and air collection so in there, and then you can hook it up to a hose. So I can hook this up to my shop vac, so I can actually scrape and collect the dust at the same time. So I'm going to turn on my vacuum cleaner and see how it works. So as you can see, it did a pretty good job of picking up the um, the leftover, the stuff that the Baco didn't get outside. You heard the squeaking there. You know, depending on the angle, you can kind of minimize the squeaking. But this is pretty much ready just for a light sanding, and then I can put a new finish on there. So that was the Cobra. I think it's made by, yep, Oneida. So yeah, if you do something where you deal with a lot of crumbly finishes, this is a great way to manage the dust. And then I wish it had a knob. I'm thinking about maybe just drilling a hole and putting a knob in there to manage it. But yeah, I like this. I like the tool a lot for certain things, and this was a good example of it. Okay, this is the edge of the dresser, and I thought I'd use a curved scraper, but honestly, there are not a lot that perfectly fit that profile. But I'm actually going to try the Viper and just gently try to kind of roll that edge and see how it does. So as you can see, it actually does a pretty good job of clearing this. If I get the drawer out of the way or pull it out, and then I'll be able to access the front a little more confidently. But as you can see, it did a pretty good job and it didn't scratch up the wood. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, in using the Cobra, I made a weird discovery, and that is that if you push the blade, I have it set in the front. You can set it back here. Oneida, I have some pretty awesome engineers, so maybe I should have it back here, and I don't know it, but I have it over here, and this is the bottom drawer where the finish is a lot more solid. It's a lot stronger, got less abuse, and it's more it's in better shape. But what I found is that actually by pushing it, it would act as a scraper, and then I could come back and vacuum it up. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So just so you can see, you saw how quickly I took that up with zero dust. Like it all went in the vacuum, and this is, I mean, this is ready to go. I mean, I could sand it a little bit, but um, I'm going to shellac it anyways. The old shellac will melt, but it's pretty much ready to go for a finish. So anyways, hope that helps. Okay, so here's what I noticed when I would pull the drawers out of here in a while. Um, you can hear that and you can see it wiggling. It's the only one that's doing that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some hide glue, I think. I'm trying to figure out. I've got a clamp long enough to where I can push it back and align it so it's flat. But I'm trying to figure out if I need to put some force and squeeze it together this way. So the clamp would have to go in the back of the drawer and push it in. There's not much give. So probably okay with just clamping it kind of here and over on the side of the drawer. Squeezing the drawer together. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some hide glue in here. Okay, so where's my hide glue? There it is. All right, I want the bottle that's been in use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in warm bath water. So I'm going to run the faucet in my tub, and when the water gets kind of warm and steamy, I'm going to stick this in there. I'm going to show you that it's not flowing right now. So what you do is you refrigerate it because it doesn't last that long, maybe less than a year. And this is getting kind of close, but I'm going to go for it. Okay, so this is a modern hide glue. I got this from my local Woodcraft. I don't know that much about the manufacturing process, but I do know it's an improvement on what it used to be. I am going to turn on the hot form from my tub that is about to get replaced. What you want to do is run this until you can see you can kind of feel the steam in your face when it gets really warmed up. So that should be good. Then you want to just take your hide glue and drop it right in there and let it warm up. So we're going to let it take a bath. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit in there I'm going to get some more hot water, and then I'm going to put it into this cup, um, and that will warm up the glue, and then you'll see it flowing like cheap syrup and less like a brown brick. So it's going to be a little bit. So that's gonna sit and wait. Okay, through the magic of video, this has been sitting in here for about, I don't know, 10 minutes. You can see how it flows. A little tough with the, you can see it climbing up the bottle there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the water with some warm again, and just make sure this is really thin. Can't hear it sloshing. What's going to happen is when it gets really thin, it's just going to flow down into the joints. So there's some fresh hot water right from the tap. You don't want to microwave the glue. That will destroy it, I believe. You cook all the chemical bonds that just make the glue up. So I'm going to take it back over to the front here, and that's the plan, is to just let it dribble in there. So I'm going to pull the drawer out, set this down. Okay, so you can see the high glue. It's really flowing now, so I'm just going to put a few drops in there. I'm going to actually lift up the drawer side. I don't think this stuff is particularly toxic or dangerous to handle. It's water soluble, so you can clean it up with water. My understanding is that hide glue holds something like 6 times its weight in moisture. Oh, the whole drawer just came apart. Okay, that's fine. We'll just add some more glue. It's probably hide glue that's in there. And here's the thing about hide glue, is that when the old hide glue dries out, it shrinks, from what I understand. So the old hide glue will shrink and dry out, and then as soon as you put new hide glue into it, you basically have a new glue joint. It will reactivate the old hide glue. I just want to make sure I'm working enough glue in there that it holds together. If I'd known the drawer was going to pop apart like that, the drawer side, I would have probably used Tight Bond instead, because it will do a better job of filling a slight gap. So I think that's going to be it for glue. I want to keep pushing in there. These are not the greatest dovetails that they cut. But it also kind of speaks to just how long ago this dresser was built. So I'm thinking late 30s is what the guess was. So yeah, I'll back that up a little bit. Maybe I can turn it so there's not so much reflection. But so that's the joint. I'm just going to go get a paper towel, and I'm going to wipe this wet stuff back before I clamp it. And it takes a long time to cure or set up. That's the one problem with hide glue that I'm not crazy about, is that this has got to sit in the clamp ideally for about 24 hours. So I still need to kind of sand the front. But I got a lot of other stuff to do because my stuff is kind of weather dependent with my situation. So anyways, I will stop wiping this, and then I will clean that up. So if you shop at Costco and you have kids, you know about the Kirkland Signature baby wipes. And so I'm using one of those. They're pretty fantastic. There's disposable. There's about a ton of them in each package. and they collect dirt and stuff, and I'm not sure if they sanitize some amount. But they're really fantastic. So if you need to do some touch up, like you have a storage space, keeps them in your car, and in a pinch, if someone's coming to look at a piece of furniture or selling in a hurry, they're great for collecting dust. So you can see that did a good job of wiping the glue back. I'm gonna keep this handy in case it kind of floods up a little bit. But now I'm gonna put on the clamp. Okay, so this is what's going on. Just wiping back the excess glue on this lip. And then this is a Bessie, it's called a parallel clamp. They're handy because they've got kind of a large pad, and they help hold together a large area here. So that is looking good. I'm trying to have it run the pressure right along this dresser edge. I think it's solid enough over here that it's going to hold together. I don't need to do 2 clamps. And then I'll just make sure there's no extra glue on the front. Yeah, hide glue is nice because it doesn't discolor the wood. You kind of scrub it out, unlike Titebond, where if I use Titebond, that's one reason I didn't use the Titebond, is the Titebond will soak into the wood, and if it gets in the front, it'll give me this light spot that'll be kind of a little rough to sand out. I have to do quite a bit extra to get the glue out of there. But with hide glue, it's easier to clean it off, and it won't discolor the wood. It won't seal the pores quite the same way. So easier to remove and easier to deal with. So there's trade-offs. But anyways, I'm going to let this guy sit in the clamps for probably till tomorrow and check on it and see how we're doing.